Do you want to know the well-kept strategy that business owners are using right now to make money while they spend money in their business? Well, you're in luck because I'm revealing all the secrets to you in this video. I'm your host, Zac Ricci, and today I'm giving you an in-depth look at the process of credit card stacking and how you can use it to manage multiple credit cards to maximize your rewards and buying power. Even if you're a complete beginner, this is going to be everything you need to know to get started. So to give a little bit of context, over the last 15 plus years, we at Fund and Grow have done more research and have developed more in the specialized field of credit card stacking than any other company running today. We've helped over 30,000 entrepreneurs pull in over $1.7 billion in 0% interest funding by using the very same techniques I'll be explaining right now. But what exactly is credit card stacking? Well, it's a strategy where you tactfully apply for several business credit lines all in one go. Now, the concept stems from getting the absolute most in credit approvals while also minimizing credit inquiry impact to your report. Now, before you click away because we're talking about using credit cards to fund your business, let me explain why this is such an amazing tool. Credit cards can be functionally used the same as loans with a set spending limit. But the major difference here is you only pay back what you use rather than the whole kit and caboodle of what you're approved for. There's way fewer stipulations on application requirements than traditional loans. You've got lower monthly payments depending on how much is spent on each card. Now, applying for business credit cards typically requires a stable credit score of around 680 to 700 depending on the bank. But why is that? Well, in short, it's because they have introductory offers of 0% interest for up to 2 years. The lines themselves are unsecured, and therefore you don't need to offer any kind of collateral in order to get them. You don't have to give up equity in your company. Instead, the banks use your past credit history to determine how likely you are to repay, which is how they determine who exactly to approve. You don't need all the documentation that you do for a business loan or an investor. There's no closing costs or origination fees. It's actually much easier to get access to this type of funding than any other method, and it's at 0% interest. You can't beat that. So now that we've talked about what it is and the benefits of it, let's get into how credit card stacking actually works. So the first step is reviewing your reports. Do you have any recent late payments? How many recent inquiries do you have? Are there any collections or charge-offs or BKs? How old is your newest account? What balances are you carrying on your existing credit accounts? Also keep in mind that a freebie credit monitoring report that your bank tosses in as an added benefit may not give you the complete picture of what your current credit report looks like. A full-blown third-party credit monitoring system may be the best option to really see what your personal credit report has going on. The next biggest piece of doing this process, and this comes way before even considering applying, is research. What banks are going to pull an inquiry on your credit first? What credit bureau will they look at? Which banks are most likely to approve you? What cards are you most likely to be approved for? What do the lenders want to see on your application? And for that matter, what do they want to see on your credit? All of these pieces you have to know in order to get the most out of this process. And as you can probably tell, it takes a lot of time to figure all these pieces out. And most entrepreneurs do not have the time to research all of this on their own, which is why most of them trust professionals like Fund and Grow, who've been doing this since 2007. Fund and Grow combs through your reports to make sure everything is what the lenders want to see. We take on the applications, the negotiations process, and all other aspects of credit stacking to get you approved the first time you apply. And all you do is sit back and watch the money come in. Now, I wanted to go over a few tips for our newcomers to credit stacking that you should always keep in mind. Number one, always pay off any balances on time. Late payments are going to incur fees that could negate any benefit from actually utilizing these cards. Number two, try not to mix personal and business expenses on the same cards, because that's going to make life a lot easier when it comes to taxes. And if possible, use auto payments when paying off balances so that you don't have to worry about missing payments due to mail delays or other issues that may pop up. In fact, let's take a step back here and go over some frequently asked questions from beginners and veterans of credit alike. What if certain purchases don't allow me to use credit cards? Well, business credit cards can be used for virtually any business need, from contractors to buying real estate. And if you run into someone that doesn't, then you can use a payment service like Plastique or Bill.com or Bluevine to send a wire, ACH, or check to wherever you need the payment to go. Now, they charge a small fee for assisting with the transfer, but it's nothing compared to cash advance fees or the fees that come from other financing options. And this is actually going to allow you to truly use business credit just like cash. How long do business credit cards carry zero interest terms? Well, the minimum payment is usually about 1% of the balance. So if you have a $5,000 balance, you can expect the minimum payment to be about $50 $50 a month. Now, paying more than the minimum is ideal to get more credit in the future. Plus, this kind of behavior will boost your credit score as well. Now, I've tried doing this process, but the results were not great. Am I doing something wrong? Well, like we talked about before, credit card stacking is a strategy that takes a lot of research and requires you to know what the banks are looking for in an ideal borrower at any given time. Lending trends change constantly, so this is not a one and done research type of situation. It's constantly having to be updated. Now, that masterclass I talked about before is designed to help you overcome some of these obstacles, and we always have our thumb on the pulse of any of these lending trends. We update them regularly to get our clients approved in as little as 30 to 45 days. At the very start, I mentioned that there are business owners out there who are actually making money off of the money that they spend, and that comes through cashback and rewards from using these business credit cards. If you can successfully accomplish a credit card stack, then you're going to have plenty of cashback opportunities from these banks trying to incentivize a working relationship with you. And so in cases like that, any kind of monthly expenses, any sort of investment, anything that you're already spending money on, if you can throw that onto a business credit card with a decent cashback incentive, you are going to get paid for spending money that you'd already be spending on your business. It is one of the greatest loopholes in the world of business financing today. So that is ultimately what you want to be striving for when you're looking into business credit and credit card stacking. And that brings us to the end of our crash course in credit card stacking. I hope this video was helpful and gave you the confidence to implement this strategy in your own business. So